And then shortly thereafter is when the uphill climb starts. Ow! Pricker bush. Good morning, camper. I'm still here at the Refuge Hostel. I'll kind of walk around as I talk so you can see what it looks like in the background. I decided to start shooting my video for today before I left because I just went to the dentist in Hampton, Tennessee, and had my filling replaced. It went very well. Wonderful dentist, wonderful receptionist, dental hygienist. Did a great job. I'm still a little numb from the novacaine, so and I've got some hiking to do. It's already a little after 10, so I made it all the way to Hampton, had my appointment, got my filling, got all the way back here. Now I'm just finishing packing up. I should be out of here in 5-10 minutes. I've got about a 12.5 mile hike to Stan Murray Shelter, if I can make it that far. We'll see. It's a beautiful day. It's still sunny. The storm is not here yet. The storm is arriving tomorrow early afternoon sometime, depending on which forecast you believe, sometime between 12 and 3 probably. So my plan is get to about Stan Murray Shelter, maybe a little before it, maybe a little after it, and then that will leave tomorrow about a 10.5 mile day to get to Hughes Gap Road. When I get to Hughes Gap Road, I should be able to do 10.5 miles by lunchtime or early afternoon, right around when the storm is supposed to hit. So my plan is to get there, call the Refuge Hostel, get them to shuttle me back here to the hostel, spend the weekend here waiting out the rain. It's going to be a rain out Saturday and Sunday, and then hopefully it'll taper off enough on Monday I can get back on the trail and continue. So wasn't part of my plan taking 2 days off in a row, but you got to do what you got to do when something like a hurricane comes through. I'm not going to be out there cold and wet. Wet is one thing, cold is one thing, but cold and wet, that's a terrible combination when you're hiking. So all right, I'm going to pack up and get going here, and I'll see you on the trail. Okay, I'm back on the trail now. It's 12.5 miles from this point to Stan Murray Shelter, and it is 10:40. Doesn't give me a whole lot of time. Complicating matters is the fact that I have to climb Hump Mountain, which is 5.5 miles of uphill. I think it's like a 3,000 foot elevation gain. Now, I've come down that going the other direction last year when we section hiked down here. Robert, the guy who runs the Refuge Hostel with his wife April, he said it's not super steep and rocky. It's more of a gradual uphill, but he said it just feels like it never ends because it's 5.5 miles. So I figured that's a solid 3 hours, maybe between 3 and 4 hours to climb up Hump Mountain. I have to get down to 19E, cross that, and then shortly thereafter is when the uphill climb starts. Ow! Pricker bush. So I think that's the downhill I was thinking of when I was thinking about coming into Damascus. Anyway, that's a different topic. Coming into Damascus didn't look familiar to me because I thought it looked different, and now I'm realizing it was probably this Hump Mountain, coming down Hump Mountain to 19E that I was thinking of. In any event, that's where I'm headed. It's going to be a tough, long slog up Hump Mountain, and then I'll only be about halfway to the shelter when I get to the top of Hump Mountain. So, got my work cut out for me. Got to get my miles in so I can get to camp by 5, because I'm still practicing setting up my new tent. So I just had a little panic attack. I'm in the habit of reaching back to check on things, like make sure my water bottles are still in the pockets, they haven't fallen out, or they're not working their way loose, and feel for my tent, which is strapped to the bottom of my backpack. Except my tent wasn't there when I reached back. I'm like, what? Brand new tent. Only slept in it one night. Expensive tent. $700. I'm in a panic. I need a tent. We got a storm coming. What am I gonna do? So I start retracing my steps, and I texted the hostel owner, can you check the bunk room? Did it fall off? Is it in the bunk room? He says, not there, but I'll walk down to the end of the road, and I'll look for it. And I said, okay, I'm retracing my steps headed your direction as well. Well, wouldn't you know it, as soon as I see him coming down the trail, and this is about half mile of retracing steps, I see him coming down the trail, and he goes, have you seen it? I said, nope. And then I look down, and there it is, right on the trail, halfway between us. Like we were both about to converge on it. Holy cow. Oh my God, my heart was pounding. I'm texting my wife saying, you're gonna have to send me my other tent. If I can't find this, if someone found it, they're gonna just take it because it's expensive tent. There's no identifying information. I'm freaking out. So, lesson learned, number one, that is as fine of a tent as it is, they did not take into consideration how people strap it to their backpack. And the package is too short. It's short and squat instead of being longer and thinner, so that it straps on easily. So the strap's barely, only a couple inches on each edge. Very easy for it to fall off. At the very least, if you're gonna do that, have it that shape, you need a couple of D-rings. Or just, little nylon webbing straps sewn on that you can thread the cordage through to keep it from falling off your pack. Doesn't have that. So I put it into the top of my pack, inside my pack, where it's not going to fall out. But yeah, I'm going to have to modify that bag. I'll have to take it to a tailor and say, here, I want this nylon webbing strap sewn on. Here's where I want it sewn on, here and here. And, if I'm ever going to strap it to the outside of my pack. Okay, I'm out of breath. I just raced back uphill in a panic looking for my tent. Crisis averted, I found it. I feel like I won the lottery. Oh.